Today I have some voiceover for Battle Royale Distance. So I've played a few games recently and I haven't done very well actually. My average has definitely suffered, taking it down to 5.5. So I played a game or a couple of games last night trying to improve that and see if I could make it a little bit better. And I thought I'd just share with you how I got on. So in the first round, immediately shown a sign which says Oslo. You can see we're in Norway. We've got the Norwegian domain on the building. I'm just trying to get a little bit more information about where we are. So here's a train station. So I'm just picking up a couple of words from here and then zoom into Oslo and see if I can find it. So I think first round being presented immediately with a sign saying Oslo and a domain, Norwegian domain, is pretty useful. Obviously everyone's in the same boat, so when you're so specifically in one place, it comes down to trying to find the right location within that town or city, which can be quite difficult actually. Luckily here I finished mid-pack, and that's good enough for me. And so here I see obviously a couple of shops there, but I notice on that building on the right it says Praha, which is in Czechia. So again, so quite luckily being presented with the place name. Domain name on this building confirms it. I kind of hope that that map might give us a bit of insight, but it doesn't really. So again, we're in the same position. Hopefully some people don't know where Praha is, but there's a good chance that most people will. I put a first guess in, managed to jump to the top, though I'm immediately replaced by Q. But I'm looking pretty safe at this point. As the timer runs down, and make it through. So into round three. Initial thoughts here are that we're in obviously Scandinavia. I think Sweden, the dotted or the dashed line, sorry, on the side of the road suggest that it's either Norway or Sweden. I think these are slightly shorter, so it makes me think of Sweden. Don't think that's conclusive, but from what I can tell, it's a pretty good tip. So yeah, it's just a case again of trying to get a feel for roughly where in Sweden that would be. Obviously, pretty big country. Doesn't look like it's, to me, right near Stockholm or another big city. So I kind of plonked it pretty much in the middle, trying to cover the bases there, and I'm in second place again, looking pretty safe, not in danger of going out, and make it through pretty comfortably. So not a bad guess, that first one. And into the next round. So initial thoughts on this one are, holy crap, I don't know where I am. The sign there gave me a little bit of hope that it might actually have a place name on it, but it looked like it's worn out, couldn't read it. So travelling along the road to try and get some more information. So this car's got Anais and Kirsten, and it kind of looks like a bit of French and a bit of German, maybe, and sort of initially think Luxembourg. And then as I'm travelling along here, I think I start thinking this could be Belgium. Because of the French word, I go pretty much on the border. Takes me into second spot, which I'm pretty pleased with. Knocked down again, but not enough time for anyone else to jump ahead of me, and I'm through again. Down to the final six. looking at this one, again, there's the dashed lines on the side of the road. These are longer, so my initial thought with the mountains in the distance as well is that this is Norway. And I really need to travel along here. We're in the middle of nowhere, so I need to see if there's any additional information that's going to help me. Got a lot of pines. Come across a coach coming the other way. Does this help? Is there any information on here that will confirm it's Norway or not? And then I see this word, and those D's make me think that it should be Iceland. And we've already had 4 guesses in, as you can see from the right, so I thought I need to put a guess in, and I took too long. I think I should have put a guess in much quicker, to get a feel for where I actually am in the country, or where I am against their guesses at least. And I was pretty lucky, I think, that the other person didn't know where that was. And again, we have dashed lines on the side of the road. So could we be in the same country, in Norway? Quite a long dash rather than the smaller dash of Sweden. Again, pretty much in the middle of nowhere, trying to travel along. I noticed that pole on the left hand side there with the white base, which then makes me doubt that this is Norway. I don't think you get that in Norway, and the buildings don't look Norwegian. So at this point, I remember there being the white paint on the bottom of the posts in Romania. I think it's elsewhere as well, but I go for Romania, puts me into third. Time is running out. I'm desperately having a look down here to see if it could be anywhere else, and ready another guess. But the time runs and I'm safe. Someone went for Russia, and someone else was further away from me as well. So third spot I stayed, and I'm through. And this initial view, I'm thinking we could be Scandinavia again here. Aquarius. Where's Aquarius? So based on that sign, I think it's probably a good idea to navigate down the road. And that sign with the word Hosot and another white painted post makes me think that we could be down in a similar sort of area. Romania, Bulgaria, and on the coast because of the Aquarius sign. So I put a guess in, still a few hundred miles away there, but I'm second, quickly down to third. I feel like I need to get another guess in, and now I'm in danger of going out even with that second guess. So in sort of desperation, I go closer to Sofia. I don't get the guess in, and as it turns out, it's actually in Romania. So I got my 2 rounds back to back in the wrong order, and I'm out. 4th place on that game. I decided to go straight in for another one, see if I can improve on that. 4th, it's not great, but it's better than my average, so it's an improvement. It's going to improve that score. But I want to really be aiming for those. Well, I want to really get in the top, the final round. So I'm either first or second. Obviously, I want to win it, but little steps. So first of all, I notice the sign there. Meses is months, I think, in Spanish. So this is yellow line in the middle, thinking this is in South America. Truck looks very South American. But which country do we go for? Nothing on that sign's helping me. Time is running out. I found that when I was in the games I was playing recently, I was playing a few on the computer, and I found that I was guessing too late. Quite a few games I actually didn't manage to get a guess in because I was looking around so much trying to find a better clue. So I definitely need to learn from that and when I filmed this yesterday, I was quite conscious of that, trying to get a guess in. It did mean there that I was quite a way off, but luckily I was able to make it through. I also played a number of games on mobile, which is a different experience because you can't see the information on the right, so you don't know how far away from you are from other guesses. And I think as a result of that, I didn't get as good a results as well. So on this round, I can see that we've got Hebrew there, so we're in Israel in all likelihood. Did see the Tel Aviv, so that helps. And at the moment I'm looking for that Eretz Museum. Probably not at the right zoom level, but I can see a couple of museums highlighted, so I'm just trying to have a look around and see if it's there. I can see that flashing at the top, so I need to get a guess in, and it's pretty low down. I'm still at risk of going out here. Luckily, the person below me didn't get another guess in, or another closer guess, so I made it through. Okay, so here we have what looks like North America. Do I go for the US or do I go for Canada? Trying to get a feel for what's around and then spot the Canadian flag, so that confirms that we need to go for Canada. Again, in the middle of nowhere. I'm just trying to see whether there's any chance of me finding out any additional information at this point, but it doesn't look likely. So I decide to go in sort of pretty much in between Edmonton and Calgary. Still, over 1,000 miles away, so must be on the other side. Put a guess in between Ottawa and Toronto, and that takes me top. Quickly displaced, but third and looking pretty safe at this point. So I haven't got the map open, and usually if I think I'm at risk of going out, I'll hover over the map. I'll put another guess in and hover over that guess button or nearby, because it does disappear if you hover on it. Quite annoyingly, I've been caught out by that a few times as well. So here we look to be in Africa, driving on the left, it seems. So are we in Botswana, South Africa, Lesotho or Eswatini? Doesn't look like Kenya or Uganda. I think, again, as the time is running down, those mountains make me think it looks like Lesotho. So I put a guess in, takes me top, which is great. Some more people guessing, not able to topple me at this point. Carry on down the road, a little social in the middle of a roundabout there, as you do. And I look to be pretty safe again. And it was actually a little bit further southwest near the border with South Africa. But good guess, and I'm through to the final five. Initial thoughts on this: so that building on the right, it looks like it could be sort of Eastern Europe. Kangaroo sticker, pretty sure we're not in Australia. Centrum, I probably don't pronounce it like that, but I know you get Centrum in Czechia, and I can see a couple of Skodas there as well. So at this point I'm thinking it's Czechia. You've got trams, which I know Prague has. I said before in a previous video, I think I've been to Prague, and so I definitely know it has trams. So I decided to go for Prague. Time is running out. A couple of people are already in there, and I put a guess in 100 miles away, so it's not Prague, it's another city. So I start thinking I need to put another guess in, but the timer is up and I looked like I was going to be safe anyway. And it was actually Brno, or however you pronounce that. Apologies for mashing it up. So here, got some of those white bottom trees. So initial thoughts after the previous game is Romania and Bulgaria. We've got a sign here. What does the sign say? Got Cyrillic and the domain of Russia. So Russia also have that painted bottom of the posts, which I wasn't aware of. So where in Russia do we go? Start with Moscow. So just over 1,000 yards away, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's Moscow. So I'm going to prep another guess here. Going further east. I think I've had on a few rounds recently. I've had, Eastern Russia quite a lot actually, much more than Western Russia. And here suddenly I'm in danger of going out, even with that guess. So I go west again, and managed to go to second, and then down to third, and it was south of Moscow. So luckily made it through on that one, down to the final three with H Principal and Rayner. Stuck in the middle of nowhere for this one. Looks a bit English or Irish to me at this point. And then that sort of scene there with a Land Rover, English language on the sign, looks like an English plate, and building. It very much looks like an English house. But there's not going to be any information here to tell me where. I was looking at those bins, because sometimes the bins have the local authority on them. It's worth a try, but I can't see where it is, so I'm just going in the middle, trying to cover all the areas and gauge where I am against the other people. 14 miles. H Principal gets another guess in, bit closer, but not close enough, and Rayner then pips them to it, and I'm in the final. So my initial thoughts with this map is I've never seen that car before, that Google car. I don't recognise that at all. So at this point I'm thinking I might not be able to win this one. But let's carry on down the road and see what we can see. So this scene looks very like tropical island, Caribbean, and we're driving on the left, so I decided to go in and actually plonk it pretty much in the British Virgin Islands, right in the middle of the two sets of islands there, and I'm 491 miles ahead of Rayner. I'm not going to rest on my laurels here though. I want to try and see if there's any additional information. They've gone a bit closer, so I'm thinking, do I need to go on to a different island? That doesn't help. So I'm either going in the wrong direction or I'm in the right place. And the time is up, and I've won. Finally, it's been a little while since I've won one actually, so cracking guess. I was really pleased with that. He ended up being not that far away as well, so he or she. So really pleased with that, and I finally got a win. Hope you enjoyed that. Please like, and if you do enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel.